Hey guys, this is Vic from Grasping the Market and welcome to our market briefing. Well, today we had continuation and confirmation from the breakout of the balancing range we saw on Thursday, and we have further extended the weekly highs. And as we mentioned yesterday, now the monthly has taken the previous month high as well. So very close to the all-time highs. Today we stopped within 8 handles of the all-time high. So as you see in the larger time frame, the monthly, the weekly, that is one time framing higher, and now the daily, which is a clear breakout from balance, the odds are good that we are targeting this 30-29-50 area. Now within that's in the larger time frame. In the intraday time frame and activity on the profile, we had a gap at the open and a very long overnight session. Now, the long overnight session was a product of some positive trade news that came yesterday, as we mentioned on the briefing. But through the overnight session and into the European session, we saw a retracement of most of that move. And yes, we opened with a little bit of a gap after the CPI release, but that gap was closed immediately. Now, the interesting thing is that although that gap, the A period came down really hard and the B period opened and it tried to push up, but it was about to give up and it was returning. And it was then when some news hit the wire that apparently the Trump administration was considering a temporary deal, and that shoot off the market straight to the overnight high. Now, what came to my attention was that type of news is enough just to prop the market and take the all-time highs right away, because we are not that far. But it was very interesting to see that we only could take the overnight high by 2 ticks, and there was an immediate give back. And then C period opened and closed any attempt. There was no attempt. It just opened and closed the existing double distribution, and the market start balancing. Now, late in the C period, we had some further news that apparently the White House was negating or denying that temporary deal stance, and the market just retraced everything. Key point here on that retracement, the yesterday high, which is just above the 3,000 area, serve as support as well. So when you see a first attempt, then push back up, second attempt all the way from the top, and it stops before even approaching the A low, and then D period opens and it cannot reach the C low, there you have evidence that the inventory could be too short. They're trying to sell it, and they're not getting anything. And then you had some short covering pushing towards the high. Now, at the same time, at the highs, you had a little bit of an inventory imbalance, judging by the inability, like you took the early morning high, and then I period failed to take the H high, then you had a little bit of a pullback, then K try again, came within 1 tick, it couldn't push, L couldn't push, and then at the close, as is usual, when you have this type of situation, you have some liquidation because some participants cannot take positions overnight. So there was a failure, support at the bottom, but a failure to extend. Maybe there was not a real fundamental, because you have all the positive technical information, you're breaking out from balance, and the upside has the better odds. But the initial news that we had this morning were denied. So maybe people was not willing to commit ahead of the all-time high. And another thing we need to consider is that the smart money, when you have big references like this, like the all-time high, what they tend to do is that they wait for that reference to be taken to then join in. And sometimes a big reference like that takes a few attempts and get closer value before it can be breached. Nonetheless, overall outcome for the session We confirmed the breakout. We had acceptance all above here, values higher, and the liquidation did not erase the whole thing. So focus for tomorrow, definitely assessing continuation, value development relative to today's. I would say that the level denoting change to the downside is the afternoon low, 3,850. If you get acceptance below this, you run the risk of challenging this low and potentially going back into Wednesday's range. Acceptance within this M period high, not going down here, increases the odds that we will complete the auction because we don't have excess at the top. So the fact that we don't have excess at the top and we are just 8 handles away from the all-time high, I think the odds are pretty good that we will trade there. But anything can happen. The market has been moving in a straight line for 3 sessions in a row after failing to close this gap that we have over here. So it could be possible that you will see some correction before fully attempting to take the 30-29-50 area. As we always say, manage your risk wisely, focus on the market generated information, because at this point it's very easy to say, well, the odds are so good that we're moving higher that I'm taking higher risk. Never do that. I mean, that is the wrong approach. Always check the odds, but take the trades that your risk management and your risk strategy tells you are appropriate. Again, just a quick wrap up. Focus is on developing value. If we get acceptance below 0850, that will denote change versus today's afternoon's trading. But what we're focusing is acceptance within the value or even above. That will be a good signal for continuation higher.